Right, so folks, this is the first podcast we've done. We have no idea what we're doing at all. So we're going to be posting this on YouTube. Basically, what we've been doing is we've been traveling for the last 7 months, working online, right, living in nice places. And we said we'd do a podcast just to see where it goes, really. It's probably the first one's going to be shite and the rest of them are going to be shite too.
Give it a go.
Yeah, literally. We've nothing set up. We've got a DJI and a tripod there. We've got some good mics. So I'm pretty sure that's enough for the first episode, right?
We'll do well with that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's crucial.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to record a podcast every week. We're like surrounded by good entrepreneurs. Some guys who are doing some big months that are doing the same thing as us. They're traveling the world. They're making 10, 15, 20K, 100K a month. So we're just going to get a few guys on every single week as well. This is fairly new to us, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, just to start off, we'll do an introduction. So my name is Dan, right? I met Loren in 2023 in Australia, and I've been with her ever since. And does that sound right? So basically, I'm from Ireland, obviously, and we have been traveling in Asia since about 7 or 8 months, making money online, okay? We've also lived in Australia. That's where I met Loren.
Yeah, I moved to Australia, I think it was 2022. 23. Must have been 23. Just a solo backpack down the East Coast. It's crazy because I'm from Scotland, and within the first week I got to Australia, I met Danny in like this hostel. And then that's where our wee journey began, eh?
That's it. So at that time I was in FIFO and I was working 2 weeks on, 1 week off, living in the mountains in Australia. Didn't really have a whole lot of a life for 2 weeks of the month, even 3 weeks in a month sometimes. And for the week off, then I go traveling. So that's why I was in the same place as Loren when she was in Australia. I was flying out on my week off and I went to Cairns and I met Loren. So after that, then we were chatting and we went to Bali, and then we moved to the Gold Coast.
Where's your favourite place to go on your weeks off?
My favourite place to go.
Where'd you go and what was your favourite places to go?
I went to Cairns. I was going to like Melbourne. I went to Perth. I didn't go to Perth. I went to the Gold Coast. I think the Gold Coast was like my favourite in Australia, but outside Australia it would have been Bali for sure. Mm-hmm. So we're going to Bali on my weeks off as well. That's what like sparked the interest of going to Asia and living there.
Yeah, so we used to go on most of your weeks off, eh? And we'd always be thinking, like, be on the back of the scooter, sun would be setting, the vibes would be immaculate. And we'd just be thinking, like, there's people that actually live here. Do you know? And we're thinking, why could we not do that? Like, how and what do we need to do to be able to say, fuck this, fuck the job, pack the bags, and away we go.
Exactly, and it was so strange as well, because I met Loren in September 2023, and I actually said to her, for some reason, I said to her that year, by September next year, I'm sweating bollocks as well. Honestly, like, anyway, I said to her, like, for some reason, I don't even know why, I tried dropshipping 3 or 4 times before, and I failed each time. And it wasn't like anything I was planning to do or anything. I just said to her, for some reason, I don't even know why, I will be making money online by next September. And I tried dropshipping again in that January. I failed. And then I actually turns out, then next year, like by July that year, I was making money dropshipping online. It was so crazy.
It's dropshipping that we do, by the way.
Yeah, we do
e-com.
Yeah. We were living in the Gold Coast, and then we travelled to Asia on our weeks off, and that's what sparked the interest, and that's what kind of planted the seed in our brains then as well. But it wasn't even until mid last year, wasn't it, that like we really decided, right, we need to get out.
Yeah.
You know?
It's actually a funny story because whilst I was backpacking, I only met Danny for like the 2 days, like the whole 6 weeks that I was backpacking. And we were kind of texting back and forth, taking a few days to answer each other. And then he just texted me. He was actually in Bali like a few weeks before. And I thought, oh, that looks unbelievable. And you were saying it was really good. And he just texted me. He was like, do you want, what did you say? I can't even remember.
Do you want to go to Bali?
Do you want to go to Bali? And I was like, yeah, okay. So I only met him twice. And then we went to Bali.
Yeah.
I think we were there every 3 weeks after that, eh?
Yeah. We just went around about our normal lives anyway. Doing that over and back. And I think it was mid last year, where I came back from a holiday and I was just like, I do not want to go back to work, because I was leaving all my family again in Ireland. That was the thing. I was leaving my family in Ireland and I really didn't want to leave them this time. And after a big mad holiday as well, obviously on the biggest come down ever. So flew back to Australia and oh Jesus, I would have done anything to not have to go back to the mountains for 2 weeks. Like sit in the mountains for 2 weeks.
It'd be tough.
And that was it then. I think I signed up to a mentorship like a week later, and that's when the dropshipping actually got going. Like, and sales just started coming in like within a couple of weeks, and that's how it all accelerated. But yeah, by that September then we were actually making money online. And what was it? I think it was very soon after that, like we actually decided, fuck it, let's just book the flight. And by the time we knew it, we'd barely even started, and we were like, let's put a fucking deadline on it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it was November, wasn't it? We said November.
November 22nd, that was it. And
Is it?
yeah, it was. Because we'd barely even made any money from it. Well, we did, but it was just starting to accumulate, and a lot of people probably wouldn't have left their job. But
I think that's what you have to do, though. You have to just
commit.
Yeah. And if you don't commit, it's always going to be like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow really never comes.
I think it's like people come to me as well about learning and all that, and it's, you know, you just want to give it a try, but like, what are you doing it for? For us, it was so we could actually live in Bali instead of having to go there on holiday. That was literally it for us. And then when we put a date on it and we said, right, this is the date, and we actually told work, like, this is the day we're going. That was like, we had no choice but to absolutely, like,
yeah, we had to
grind. And it was every single day in the mines, like working 7 to 7, 6 to 6 or whatever. And then going back, getting the gym, getting food. And for that last 2 hours before I went to sleep, that was just all I did for weeks and weeks and weeks. And the weeks off I had, that's all we did as well, was work on this. And by the time November came, it was actually, we were in a good place.
Yeah.
You know, Q4 as well. It's the perfect time.
Don't get me wrong though, like, we still had to go with savings. We still weren't making like millions by the time we left. We just said we'd pick a date and go for it. Whether we're making money by then or not, we have to try it. So we did, and thankfully it's worked the way it has. But just because you're not necessarily making millions off something doesn't mean that you can't commit to trying to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the way it is as well is you're working, right? And you're only getting a certain amount of time to commit to the real thing you actually want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're working to like keep the lights on, but it's the real thing you want to do that you're getting less time to do it because you have to work. So that's why it was kind of us, like, if we really want to do well in this, like really want it, Q4 is there, like getting stores up and running, getting products going. If we wanted to hit that hard, we couldn't be working.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we did. And then the minute we like quit work, I remember actually getting to Bali, and every single week I was in Bali, I was making more money, like every single week. You know, and it was unbelievable. Obviously, you're in the height of Q4.
Yeah.
And you just like the phone is just dinging, and it's just unbelievable. But still, it's the more time you put into something, especially at the start.
I actually remember there was one of the times we were going to Bali and you were bringing your laptop, and I was thinking, what's he doing bringing his laptop on holiday for? And every morning, without a doubt, you were out there 6, 7 in the morning in the hostel, in the corner, on the mosquitoes, on his laptop for the first like 2 hours of every single day. And I was thinking, man, you're on holiday, but look what it's got you, do you know? You have to be like that though. You have to put away the thought in your brain that's like holiday mode, relax mode. Yeah, you're living in Asia or you're on your holidays, or maybe you have to take time off to go enjoy your holiday, but just because you're doing that doesn't mean you don't have an extra 20 minutes in the morning to be doing something for yourself, to make money for yourself for the future.
Of course, like it wasn't even, I actually enjoyed doing it. So like, to be honest, the only reason you'd feel bad doing it is because of the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to be on the laptop in front of them, but I actually enjoyed doing it, and I really wanted to get it done every morning. And I think it's important that, like, if you're building something, like, you need to be willing to just like, to actually just do a small bit every day, no matter where you are. Because it's not about spending 6 hours a day every single day, or 8 hours or 10 hours. Like, you just need to be consistent with the stuff we were doing anyway. You just need to be consistent every day.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't just take a week off. You wouldn't come back into the right zone for weeks afterwards. You'd be just catching up, you know?
Sorry. Ronan.
I'm glad I'm boring you. But yeah, but that's what it was. It just, all it meant was going on holidays and bring the laptop with us. And it only took 2 hours in the morning, get all my orders done, get my products up, get everything sorted, make sure everyone's happy, and then go about the holiday for the day.
Say 2 hours, it wasn't even.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Even 2
It was
hours.
literally like as
I was
much.
being dramatic.
Yeah, that's what it took for the first few months leading up. And then when we got to Bali, it was just like, oh, what was the feeling like when we got to Bali?
Unreal. Every time we've left Bali so many times, we've been a good few times. Say 6 times before we actually moved there, and every single time before we'd leave, it'd be like, there's just something about being there that kind of felt like we're supposed to be there. But we're in Koh Samui now, and I don't know, do I actually feel a bit more homely here than I do in Bali? But I've been in Thailand now for 4 months, 3 months, 4 months.
4.
So we're planning on going back to Bali end of this next month. So that'll be good though, because we'll be able to see actually which we prefer, because there's such a huge debate, isn't there? Thailand or Indonesia. Do you know, it's a huge debate in the whole backpacking world, the online world, everything. So I'm looking forward to going back to Bali and seeing, do I still feel, not that I don't feel the same, but I just feel like Bali had such a huge place in my heart. But thinking about going back now, I'm like, oh, but you're not going to have the quiet roads, you're not going to have the beautiful white sand, you're not going to have, do you know, it's bad that you feel like you're comparing it.
Quiet gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for me, it's kind of like Bali was the place. The Bali was my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
And then when I came here, I actually hated it because I was like, it's too quiet. And
Yeah,
it's too, like, there's
the first month we were here.
Yeah, I was like, I've only met the same 5 guys in the gym every day. You know, I can't meet anyone else here. And networking was such a big thing. But now after being here, I'm like, fuck, this is home. Almost, you know, and I like, when I go back to Bali, it's just going to be busy roads, it's going to be busy gyms, it's just going to be like getting sick from eating the meals. Like, when I haven't gotten sick once here in Thailand, I lost like 6 kilos when I went to Bali with sickness.
Bali belly.
I lost like 6 kilos, and now I'm like back to like a healthy, strong weight where I actually feel like I feel healthy every day. I'm not getting these weird pains in my stomach as well. Like, you mightn't even be sick in Bali, but you just get these weird pains every day. And to be honest, like, we were eating quite like safe, you know what I mean? We knew what places to go to, and because we've been there so many times before. But it was just like, when I went home at Christmas as well last year, we'd been in Bali 2 months. When I went home at Christmas, I actually felt like I got stronger at home. Like, my immune system got up a bit, and all I did at Christmas was drink. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, and I wasn't sick once after when I got back to Bali, even though all the way up till that time I was just sick every fucking 2 weeks.
But it's so good doing this whole online stuff, because we had the opportunity to go home for Christmas, and because we don't have a job to commit to, we don't have a boss to say, I need a week's holiday. We literally, I think it was the night before we booked it, wasn't it? Because we were in Bali in a guest house at that time. We just had a small room we were working in, didn't we? And it was...
That's where I shot the bed, wasn't it?
No, that was a place before.
Place before. It was Bali Belly.
I did shit the bed, yeah. We woke up one morning.
Oh, we won't get into detail like
no,
that?
we won't.
What are you saying?
I don't know, I'm just thinking of the shit on the bed now.
Yeah, basically saying like, we had the opportunity to go home when we wanted to. Do you know, we didn't have to tell our bosses 2 months in advance. We booked a flight to go home for Christmas the day before we decided. Do you know, we decided to go home on the Wednesday. By Thursday, we were on the flight. We did not have to tell anyone. We didn't have to inform anyone. We didn't have to like let people know we were going. We literally arrived home. No one even knew. We got our shit packed, left the place, and that was it. I was at home like 2 days later. About 30 hours later, I was at home.
And I think sometimes that's the most important part of it, is being able to just do what you want. Because it's so difficult on a job when you're asking your boss, can I get a week's holiday? Like, that should not be your life. You should not be asking someone for a day off.
I think the whole world has been wired wrong. Like, I think everyone is literally doing, like, living there on other people's terms, somehow or another. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, if you're in a job, you're living on your boss's terms.
Yeah.
You know? Like...
Having to ask
as well, like, you know, and then being told, like, it's a bit long. You know what I mean? You want to go home for a month. You it's a bit, you're kind of pushing it there. Like, no, fuck you. Do you know, you don't decide how long I can see my family for.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I think that's a big, big thing. And I just, like, this didn't even affect me, but I've seen other people that's affected. Like, I was actually fairly grand. Like, people just let me go home and stuff, you know what I mean? But I've seen other people where they're like, no, I can't go home in August. Do you know, it's my mother's birthday, but I can't go home. Boss won't leave me. He said it's not a good month. Like, fuck your boss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, who's he to decide whether it's a good month?
Yeah.
It's for you.
Family's so much more important. Anything to do, like, you are so much more important than a fucking job.
Yeah, your well-being and just like your freedom as well. Anyway, we won't get too deep into that. But yeah, basically,
we're just...
what our plans is for this year is just like all we want to do is build our personal brand. We want to just get out there, network with as many people, make a lot of money, and just live basically how I've wanted to live all my life. Because just kind of knew I was always kind of, I know everyone probably does, but I just knew that engineering wasn't for me, and I was on great money, but I just knew it wasn't for me. So that's what we're doing now, and we're just seeing how far we can go with it and trying to become millionaires.
We're not trying, we will.
Well, yeah, exactly. Jesus.
One day.
So babe, that's the plan. We're just going to keep traveling. We might end up in Europe at the end of the year, have a nice skiing Christmas in the middle of Q4.
Yeah.
We've got good products there ready for Christmas, good plans, good teams. I'm telling you, we are going to smash this year. Honestly,
We are.
gonna, like, it's going to be so good. Like, next January is going to be life-changing. You know, we're going to be January sale, February, we're going to be like, look back and we're going to be like, holy shit, the revenue.
I even still look back now and I'm like, jeez.
I know. I have a list as well of like things that I've done since I started this, like little milestones that I thought were impossible at the start. And like, first one was just getting a sale.
Yeah.
First one was getting a sale, and like now it's just like you get a sale every minute, and that's just like brushed off. Like my first sale was like something that I couldn't do the last 3 times I tried to do dropship.
Yeah.
And then I just take that off. And then it was like, oh, I'd love to get 100 quid profit extra on top of my wages. Sure, that was happening like every single day then at like a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, you
and then
don't even think about it.
It was hitting like the 5k profit mark. Boom, ticked off. And then you're like 8k, boom, ticked off. And it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. And the momentum, because you're hungry, because you're putting in the 2 hours after work. But without getting into it, anyway, that's like our plan is just to do this for as long as we can. Build businesses, build things we can be proud of, invest in real estate, invest in companies, invest in smaller businesses. And yeah, see how far the road can go, and hopefully by the time we're 30, like just have something absolutely insane.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Like an empire built. But that's the goal. And this year now, it's June almost. We'll give June in Koh Samui.
So fast, this year.
Oh man.
So
fast.
halfway done already.
It's
Halfway
insane.
done.
It's too fast. It's way too fast. Like, it'll be July by the time we know it, and then we're into like, you know, where you're starting to be like, you know, we really need to knuckle down. Like, not that we haven't been knuckling down anyway, but like, that's when you really need to have your systems like dialed.
It's a big mosquito, sorry, it's put me off.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a big mosquito. You just landed on my leg.
I know, I told you.
I just killed the fly on
Did
camera.
you get it?
No. Anyway, so yeah, we'll go to Bali in July. We'll see where we go from there. We might end up back in Thailand. We don't know. We'll see if we can
Never know.
reignite the spark from Bali, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll give the rest of the year in Asia up until probably November, and then we'll go back to Europe.
Yeah, I think so.
Europe's on the cards. Make that Europe money.
Yeah, it's like a different tier, isn't it?
Yeah. But it'll be good. Buzzing. So I think with the podcast, like next week, we might try and get someone on it, and we'll get a guest on it. But I don't know, has it been boring or has it been worth watching? But hopefully tune in, and we're going to get more momentum. We're going to get better setup, and this is just to test the waters. But I actually really enjoyed it, and yeah.
Yeah, me too. Sorry. It's mosquito.
Who are you waving at?
Say bye.
Bye.